without any further ado, I would like to present to you all the rebranding of the Boise Raptors starting, I believe, next season. The Boise Raptors will be. Oh, did the stream? What happened? Did the stream end? It shouldn't have ended. Why did it go silent? Uh-oh. Am I dropping frames?
Stream's fine right now.
Yeah, it seems to be coming through on my end. People are saying it's silent. Hold
on. Give me 1 second. I gotta go get the front door.
Okay, it's coming through on my end. I think that the Raptors mascot must have gotten to AJay before he could announce it in hopes of keeping the team in Boise. That's funny. Yeah, I think it should be okay. Streamers only. You good stream crashed. No, the stream's up and running. On my end, the stream is up and running. Looks like hold on. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, dropping frames a little bit here. Interesting. Yeah, dropping quite a bit of frames. Hopefully that stabilizes, but if not, we might have to stop and restart the stream. Give me a moment. Of course, there's no issues when we're just streaming music and getting ready to start by. No, shouldn't need a standby. I think we're good.
It looks like we're back.
Okay.
I think we're back.
Sounds good. I think we're good then. All right. Yeah, as mentioned, of course, it doesn't have any issues when we're just streaming music to everyone, and then all of a sudden, as soon as we're about to make a big announcement, then all of a sudden we have issues. All right, let me try this one more time. Without any further ado, I am very pleased to present to you all the announcement from the new brand's management team, the rebranding of the Boise Raptors starting, I believe, next season. The Boise Raptors will henceforth be known as the Dublin Rebels. So the Dublin Rebels are coming to the PBE. Ireland is getting some representation in the pro baseball experience.
Wow, it's gonna be a big climate shift for me going from Boise to Dublin.
Yeah. And just to read the announcement real quick, to the PB fans around the world, baseball has often been called America's pastime, and for good reason. A baseball field in the summer is like nothing else on the planet, and for the most part, it's been a uniquely American experience. There's a feeling you get when watching this beautiful game that is hard to describe. As baseball fans across the pond, the game has always felt just out of reach. When we started discussions with the ownership group in Boise, the whole idea seemed just a little mad. From day one, we knew that if we were going to do this, that we were going to continue the traditions that Boise had spent 45 years creating and honor the work put in by everyone who came before us. With that in mind, we're incredibly happy to announce the Boise Raptors are moving to Dublin, Ireland, and will be rebranded as the Dublin Rebels. Ireland has a proud tradition of rebelling against outside influence and fighting for what we believe in. The people in Dublin are passionate, loyal, and hungry for a new sports experience and a major sports team that we can call our own. As the PBE's only team outside of North America on Earth, asterisk, we're excited to represent not just the people of Ireland, but to show the rest of the world that baseball works outside of America and the Far East. While we're sad that a great baseball town like Boise, Idaho is losing their team, we know that we'll do their fans proud with the future we envision in Dublin, Ireland. It's time for the game of baseball to grow, and we're proud to be able to show the old world what they've been missing. We hope to see you all from Cloverleaf Coliseum in season 64. So congratulations to the new branding. Dublin Rebels will be coming to the pro baseball experience. I have always been a massive proponent of teams outside of the Americas regions. I was heartbroken when we lost Kashima Foxes, and so having a team over in Europe is very fun for me personally. But Lonestarr, what's your take on the branding, being a Boise Raptor yourself?
So being on the team, I'm just glad I'm a part of the co-hosting team where I earn money. So it's outside of my salary, so I can afford all those first class plane flights I'm going to have to take from from Dublin back to the States. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I know that there had been hinting about the rebranding for some time. But I'm happy to find out just like you're all finding out right now. This is great.
Yeah. So this yeah, I know there are some members of the PBE who are very much against rebranding as a whole, but in terms of rebranding to or relocating to a team outside the Americas, that's always a fun experience for me to see. So Dublin Rebels are heading to the pro baseball experience. So
I mean, we have Cancun, so if we have Cancun, we can have other countries, right?
true, yeah. I mean, we have
Represented.
Canada
I
too.
mean,
We have Canada with
yeah,
Toronto and Vancouver.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
but all right, so that is the reveal of the new branding for the Boise Raptors. Speaking of the Boise Raptors, they have All Stars that are eagerly waiting for the All Star game. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into. Well, we'll actually be waiting a bit for that, a bit longer for that, as the Major League All Star game will be coming after the Minor League All Star game, which always does this to me. There we go. So we have the minor league all-star game. The West versus the East. Let's see. We have Maruzensky on the mound for the Western Division and Lord Slickfingers on the mound for the Eastern Division. Plenty of the best here. Just looking at the matchups here for these teams. It looks like we have representation from all 5 teams. On the West, we got Bears, we got Hepcats, we got Dillos, we got Firehawks, and we got Wheelers. And for the East, we got representation from Swift Steeds, Kingpins, Lemurs, and Flamingos. So really only the Ranas, the quote-unquote zombie team, not getting representation in the starting lineups here, but I'm sure we'll see some Ranas as the game goes on. Do you
That's
have
great.
do you have a preference on whether or not you want to take the minor league all star game or the major league all star game, Lonestarr?
I can take the minors one to start.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You ready to get
Then I'll
going?
be here. Then I'll be here. Then I'll be here with you
Let's
for
turn
the
off.
majors. So I'll be watching it right along with you.
Awesome. I'm gonna turn off BNN so that the majors doesn't get auto simmed. Aside from that, we should be all set to go. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
All right, go ahead and start things off for us.
All right.
Make sure that all the
And welcome everybody to the All-Star game. Here we go. West Division versus East. Gandalf the Gray up to bat. And Lord Slickfingers on the mound. Here we go. Season 63 All-Star game gets underway, and that's a quick out right there as Gandalf grounds out for out number 1. Next up, career minor leaguer. Walks. 1 aboard. And that's going to bring up Super Creek. Super Creek knocks that into left field for the base hit. West have 2 on now. First, Trevor Torrey. Trevor, 13 homers this season. There's the wild pitch. Runners advance to second and third for Torrey. And Torrey's going to hit that right at the third baseman for the ground out. 2 away. That was beautiful. That's going to bring up Martin. Then Martin flies out to center. Threat averted. Nothing for the West in the top half of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Man of Steel coming up to the plate. And he strikes out. First strikeout by either side. That's going to bring up Femhausen. Obo Femhausen lifts that to left, and it is caught for the second out of the inning. 2 away. That's going to bring up Doug Love. Love, grounder, short, and Doug is retired. 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the second, tied at 0. That's going to bring up Vumian Stitcherson. Stitcherson. Ground out there, 1 away. Next up, Slim Mahogany. Mahogany takes the walk. Runner on for the West once again. That's going to bring up Matt Gamble. Gamble is retired. The runner safe at second. Mahogany safe at second. So runner in scoring position now for Hannibal Kingslayer. Kingslayer, high, deep, and caught at the track. So that threat's averted. We go to the bottom of the second, still tied at 0 with Dusty Backstop coming up. Dusty flies out to left, 1 away. That's going to bring up Stacking Paper. And Stacking Paper the second. Couldn't quite stack the papers there. Flies out to center, 2 away. Samuel Sheeping coming up next. And Sheeping gets the base hit. There we go. So the East gets its first hit by Samuel Sheeping. That's going to bring up Brian Taylor. Base hit into left. Sheeping stops at second. 2 on now for the East. As Dan Thunder comes up. Thunder. Base hit there. 3 hits in a row. We'll load the bases. Bases are loaded now. Bases chucked. For Moonshot. And Moonshot. It's the walk. Steal. That's the end of the inning. But to get the run, the East strikes first. 1-0. Go to the top of the third. And off the grave back up again. And Gandalf is retired, 1 away. That's going to bring up career minor leaguer. And career minor leaguer is aboard. There's the walk. Super Creek strikes out. First K for Derek Kirkland. And there's the grounder. And that's the final out of the inning. Again, the score 1-0 after 2.5. Obo Femhausen coming up bottom of the third. Is Alex Kidd into pitch. 1 strikeout there. Next up, Doug Love. And Doug Love is retired, 2 away. It's going to bring up Dusty Backstop. Backstop is retired. 3 up, 3 down there in the bottom of the third for the East. Still 1-0 East over West. We go to the top of the fourth. Ben Martin. Martin, grounder, 1 down. Quick out there for Man Person. I wonder who... No, I'm kidding. That's not your player. Man Person. Grounder up the middle. Stop on a shortstop. 2 down as Stitcherson goes down. That's going to bring up Slim Mahogany. Mahogany flies out to left. Another 1-2 quick 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 East. Stacking Paper the second coming in. Through the hole. And Stacking Paper is safe at first. Single. Going to bring up Samuel Sheeping. Sheeping is retired. Brian Taylor is safe. Infield hit. So 2 on for Dan Thunder in the bottom of the fourth. Dan Thunder flies out to the catcher, and that's 2 down. That was a huge out. Moonshot coming up now. And Moonshot is walked. Bases are chucked for Man of Steel here in the bottom of the fourth. A Man of Steel walks, and we have a 2-0 lead for the East. And up comes Obo Femhausen. Obo is retired, and that's the end of the inning. 2-0 East through 4. We go to the 5th. Nostradam pitching, Gamble base hit to left. So the West gets a lead runner here. Animal Kingslayer here in the top of the 5th. And again, score is 2-0. And runner is out. Gamble's retired at second, 1 away. Kingslayer still on first. Gandalf the Grey comes up once again. Nope. It's going to be Gary Love, base hit to right. 2 on now for the West. Gary Love gets a huge hit there. On your left comes in and strikes out. 2 away. That was a big out there. Jan Lenedy comes up, grounder, and that's going to end the inning. So that threat is averted. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-0 East. Sean Spencer comes in. And Spencer Wright to the pitcher, 1 down. Dusty Backstop comes up, or excuse me, it's going to be Lazarus King. Grounds out to second, 2 down. And Stack and Paper the second's going to get a 3rd at bat here. And Ben is aboard. Samuel Sheeping. That's come on, 2-run blast for Samuel Sheeping. And the East goes up 4-0. Huge homer by Samuel Sheeping. What a game. Tophophilia round out, and that's the end of the inning. So the East gets 2 more. 4 Love after 5. We go to the top of the 6th. Kif Croker coming in. And Kif Croker gets struck out by Hank Hill, also coming in for this inning. So Croker strikes out. Rex Jordan walks. So there's the walk. Runner aboard. Boomien Stitcherson try and make this a game. No, excuse me, that was Martin Walker. Strikes out. Second K for Hank Hill. Ashcraft gets the base hit. 2 on, 2 out. And the West is going to keep Matt Gamble in the game. Base hit for Gamble. Bases are loaded. Bases are loaded now for the West. We're in the top of the 6th. And Hannibal Kingslayer stays in the game. Base hit. They're on the board. 4-1 now. And that's going to bring up Gary Love once again. And Love's going to pop that up to center, and that's the end of the inning. But they get one back. West down 4-1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Going to bring up Kasani Tito. Tito is retired, 1 away. That's going to bring up Moonshot. So both teams opting to keep the catchers in. That's 2 away with the fly out. That's going to bring up Lionel McScallywags. McScallywags is retired, and that was a quick 1-2-3 there. We go to the top of the 7th, 4-1 East. On your left, second at bat. And on your walks, okay. That's going to bring up Keon Lenedy. Not seeing any steals here, as Lenedy strikes out for the first out of the inning. Croker. There's the stolen base right on cue. I was going to say, with those steal numbers, everybody should be stealing. And Croker strikes out. As Marcus the Worm pitching very nicely here. Rex Jordan, base hit. Okay, 2 on. 1, 2 out. Down 3. And Martin Walker. Martin Walker is retired. All right. So no runs once again, and they're in the top of the 7th. East still up 4-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Gabzoo comes in. And Gabzoo crushes that, and that is gone. 409 feet to make it a 5-1 game. Gabzoo just comes in and punches it. Sean Spencer once again. Spencer's aboard with the walk. The East up 5-1. You're in the bottom of the 7th. Lazarus King up to bat. Lazarus flies out right. 1 down. Next up is Daniel Montgomery, and he's going to strike out. Taylor Wolfel, huge stolen base there for Sean Spencer. Taylor Wolfel up to bat. A Wolfel base hit. That's going to score the run to make it 6-1 now. Spencer comes in. Ophelia. And Ophelia is retired by a ground out. 2 runs for the East in the bottom of the 7th. It is 6-1. Go to the top of the 8th. And Ashcroft comes in. And that's a fly out center, 1 away. Matt Gamble still in the game. Matt Gamble's been up a bunch of times. Strikes out there for out number 2. And Hannibal Kingslayer, 4th at-bat in this All-Star game, is retired there by the ground out. That was a quick inning there. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-1 East. West is starting to run out of outs. Peyton Shoelace comes in. Shoelace, grounder, and that's 1 away. It's going to bring up Moonshot. And Moonshot strikes out for out number 2. His Arm Bandur, first strikeout there. McScallywags comes up. Base hit to left. McScallywags is on. And that is going to bring up Michael Honcho. Pops it up, and that's the end of the inning. Again, 6-1 East. We go to the 9th. Chris Cash Jr. hoping to change the fortunes of this team. It flies out to right, 1 away. As Lee Tattersall into pitch for the East. It's going to bring up On Your Left. On Your Left strikes out, huge out there. And Keon, is it going to be Keon, or are they going to put somebody else in here? It's going to be Keon Leonardy. 2 down. And that's a pop-up, and that's going to do it. 6-1. The East takes the minor league all-star game. Woo. Okay. I was touch and go at times during that, so I did the best I could with that. Anyhow, for the box scores, Gabzoo had that home run for the East. Sheeping had a huge day, 2 for 3 in this one as well. Matt Gamble for the West, 2 for 4 in that one. Kingslayer had the only RBI for the West. Komatsu's going to pick up the loss. And the winning pitcher is actually Josh Harper. Marcus DeWorm with the hold. That was a very interesting game. But that's it. Like the East pitching did a really good job. Hank Hill was the only one to allow a run out of all those pitchers. But that was a very well pitched game by the East.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to switch on over to the Major League All-Star Game now. Let's go ahead and save real quick before we do that. We have the Legends Conference versus the Champions Conference. We'll see which team follows in the footsteps of the Eastern Division for the minor leagues and comes away with the victory in the All-Star Game in the majors. We have the Powerhouse as the host for this one, despite the champions being the home team. Let's see. We have quite a few players who are making the Major League All-Star team for the very first time. I made a quick tally of who all is in the Majors All-Star game for the first time. Excuse me. So I'll be trying to point those out as we continue on through the game, but there's already a couple in the starting lineups right off the bat. For the champions hitters, we have, let's see, they're not, no. Dave Babbitt Person, the shortstop, is in the Majors All-Star game for the first time, as well as Not Worth the First, the center fielder. I believe all the rest of them are multiple-time All-Star appearances. There are 3 other batters in Ford Lincoln Mercury, Jimmy Lumber, and Stell, who have not been in the All-Star game but will show up as pinch hitters potentially down the road in this ball game. In terms of the pitchers, there's only 2, neither of which are starting for the champions. For the Legends, though, Professor Crockwell, the starting pitcher, has been in the league for quite some time, but this is their first ever Major League All-Star game. So congratulations, Professor Crockwell, in your first Majors All-Star game. You also get the starting pitcher nod. We also have Ferguson, who is playing left field today, but usually catches. And we have Hurry Quake as well, who usually catches and is catching here. Stetson Laramie, who's a first baseman for the Sloths. All 3 of those are in their first ever All-Star game in the majors, as well as Dean Ice, who also usually catches but is DH in here, and player to be named later, who usually plays right field but is playing second base today. Something you notice about the All-Star games is that quite a lot of players are playing out of position. We have player to be named later who's playing second base today, usually plays right field. We have a first baseman over in right field in Mihire. We have Zalewski batting fifth and playing shortstop when they usually play third base. Ferguson, as mentioned, usually catches, playing left field today. Rodrigo Wallach usually catches, they're playing third base. So it's a lot of different changes in position for the players, and something that you'll also notice that continues the trend of the minor league all-star game is that there will be a lot of substitutions, both in terms of pitchers and in terms of pinch hitting and pinch running. The managers of the all-star teams want to make sure that as many players get representation in the ball game as possible, so they want to make sure that as many players enter the game as possible. So we'll be seeing quite a few of those throughout today's game as well. Not actually a whole lot of variation for the Legends Conference lineup. You got a couple of, you got 3 Voyagers, you got 3 Sloths, a couple of Crabs, a Raptor, and a Pathfinder. So no Surge, no Vandals representation for the Legends Conference. For the Champions Conference, I'm seeing no Scorpions and no Sea Serpents, it looks like. You got 3 members of the Apex, you got a couple of Rougarou, you got a couple of Space Rangers, you got a Demon, a Star, and a Toro. So Scorpions, Sea Serpents, Surge, and Vandals. You'll have to wait to see your players show up in today's All-Star game. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Major League All-Star game. Legends Conference due up first with Tanaka, to be named later, and Laramie due up against Smithy as the starting pitcher for the Champions Conference. Let's get underway with the Majors All-Star game.
This should be a good one.
Yes, it should. We have Tanaka first up, playing center field today. 40 stolen bases and already a 40 RBI, 40 stolen base season for Tanaka. They're going to ground out here to shortstop for the first out of the All-Star game. Player to be named later laces a single right up the middle past a diving Curtis Jones at second base. Runner at first, 1 down for Stetson Laramie. Walk drawn. So now we have first and second with 1 out for Mihire. Throwing on to first as a stolen base for player to be named later. And Mihire will strike out. Runners to the corners, 2 outs for Zalewski. Grounder to short, over to second in time for the fielder's choice. No runs will score on 1 hit. And the Legends leave a couple of base runners stranded. We head to the bottom of the first at the Champions Conference. Solo, Jones, and Munson due up against Crookwell The starting pitcher Solo grounds out to second base. 1 down. Curtis Jones will do the same. Back-to-back groundouts to player to be named later at second base, who is not used to getting these ground balls, used to playing the outfield instead. And a base hit for Michael Munson, the DH. They're on board with a single. Runner at first, 2 down for Zach Johnson, the third. Left fielder's going to ground out to the first baseman. Pitcher covers, and the side is retired. Crockwell allows a hit, but no runs through their first and probably only inning of work. Matt Hunter enters the game for the Champions Conference, pitching in relief. They are a first-time All-Star, one of only 2 first-time All-Stars in the Champions Conference pitching arsenal. The other being a rookie that I'm hoping that we see, since they're the only rookie in today's All-Star game. And that will be a stolen base by Ferguson, who drew a walk to get on board. Now Wallach at the plate has a runner in scoring position. Line drive right to the first baseman, though. And there is now 2 outs for Dean Ice, the DH. Grounder to third, over to first, but it's dropped. That's going to be an error. Throw is off the mark by the third baseman, AJ Justice. Not something you expect to see in an All-Star game, but a fielder's choice will end the inning. So no damage is done. 2 base runners in the inning, but no runs across the plate. Still no score here at the Powerhouse. AJ Justice going to line out to the first baseman for the first out of the inning here. Jazz going to be the new pitcher in relief for the Legends Conference. They're a first-time All-Star as well. One of 5 among Legends pitchers. Leon Rosenthal strikes out. Heads back to the dugout. 2 down for not worth a first, and no one on board. Grounder to third, over to first, in time, 1-2-3 inning for Jazz. And we head to the top of the... we head to the top of the third with still no score. Glenn Snaps on the mound. There's the other one. Matt Hunter and Glenn Snaps, the only 2 pitchers in their first All-Star game for the Champions Conference, and they pitch in back-to-back innings. Glenn Snaps, also a rookie for the Cancun Toros, the only rookie in today's All-Star game. They allow a single to be named later, who then takes off for second with stolen base. Now Laramie is going to walk on the full count pitch. So now we have first and second, nobody out. Mihire comes to the plate. Line drive, it's going to get past the first baseman. Bases are loaded for Paulo Zalewski. They have 9 home runs on the season. This would be a great time for one. Grand slam straight to center field. All-Star game grand slam for Paulo Zalewski.
Wow. Wow.
The Crabs fans are stoked to see their player representing. Ultimo Khan now takes the mound for the Champions Conference. And Hurry Quake will fly out to right. 1 down, nobody on for the Legends Conference. 4-0 in favor of the Legends. Ferguson strikes out. 2 down. And now Rodrigo Wallach. Wallach playing third base today. They're going to strike out for this at bat, and we head to the bottom of the third. I kind of was, when I said that Zalewski had 9 home runs on the regular season, I was implying it'd be a good time for the 10th, but I realized that that doesn't really count for the statistics. And then while I was realizing that, I just saw the ball land in the center field bleachers. So, big grand slam.
Awesome. That was an awesome grand slam.
Yeah, big grand slam for Zalewski, putting the Legends up by 4. A quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Back-to-back strikeouts of McCheesy and Babbitt Person for Count Crabula. And Solo going to ground out to end the inning. And we head to the top half of the 4th inning with the Legends Conference due up. It's going to be Ice Tanaka and named later Jimmy Benico, the new pitcher for the Champions Conference. They get Ice to ground out to second base, 1 down. Isuro Tanaka grounds out to the shortstop, 2 away. Babbitt Person over to Rosenthal for the out. Miggs Mayfeld, the pinch hitter, will step in for a player to be named later. And they'll draw a walk, which brings Rail Traveler to the plate. Also pinch hitting. Tries to steal second, but Miggs Mayfeld gunned down by the catcher McCheesy by a mile. So So that will end the inning and bring us to the bottom of the fourth with Holly Sheet, the Vancouver Vandal, on the mound for the Legends All-Stars. Jones draws a walk. Mayfeld slots right into second base. Traveler in at shortstop. Michael Munson, the DH, is going to strike out for the first out of the inning. Now Johnson, the third, strikes out and on to second. Out as well. Strikeout, throwout, double play. 4 innings in the books and no runs across for the Champions Conference. It's 4-0 Legends. Traveler, the shortstop, did not get a chance to finish their at-bat, but they will here as they strike out against Takeda Takahashi, the new pitcher, the Rougarou, for the Champions Conference. Can You Take Me Higher laces a single up the middle. They're 2 for 3 on the day for the Legends Conference. Now Zalewski steps to the plate. Had that grand slam earlier in the ball game, but they are going to be pulled for Speedy McFly Jr., a pinch hitter. Manager said, Zalewski, you did your job. We appreciate it. We're going to sit you down and get you some rest for the second half of the season. Quake got a ground out into a fielder's choice to end the inning, and we head to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Takahashi with a clean inning. And now Sniper King on the mound. Representing OBX for the Legends Conference All-Stars, gets AJ Justice to fly out to center field, 1 down. Now Leon Rosenthal. And a line drive past a leaping shortstop Traveler. Rosenthal is going to reach first base with a single. 1 out base hit here in the fifth. And that brings up Notworth the first, who draws a walk on a 3-1 count. This game is just Providence versus Champions Conference. I mean, when you look at the runs, you're not too far off. I mean, and now you got Mayfeld and Traveler in the game as well. Wild pitch will allow both runners to advance. Second and third for Babbitt Person. And a diving catch in center field by Isuro Tanaka will end the inning. And we head to the top of the sixth. Champions fail to score. When you look at the standings, the Providence Crabs are the first team to reach 40 wins, so it makes sense that they have a lot of representation here in the Legends Conference All-Star roster. It's Julio Ruiz Jr. pinch hitting after Press Duckley Jr. Duckley Jr. is the first-time All-Star as well. I want to make note of that as well. John Calgo on the mound and strikes out Ice. And the Legends Conference goes down in order 1, 2, 3. Brings us to the bottom half of the sixth inning. It's going to be Brent Goldberg pinch hitting for the Champions Conference here at the top of their lineup. And a single off of Warren Peace to welcome them to the game. Warren Peace, he had another crab on the roster of the Legends Conference All-Stars here. Curtis Jones, a base hit to right. Warren Peace 9-2 on the season with 90 Ks already. Michael Munson, a base hit. That's going to be 3 in a row off of Peace. And now the bases are loaded for Zach Johnson III. Left fielder hitting .345 so far this season. They're going to strike out, though. It's a good thing that the All-Star stats don't affect your regular season stats, eh, Johnson? Mets will sac fly into right field. Representing the Sea Serpents. Run comes home to score, and the Champions Conference is finally on the board here in the sixth. Gnome Child pinch hitting. They will ground out to the first baseman for the third out. Champions get a run. They draw a bit closer. It's 4-1. Doug Maple for the Legends Conference. Going to be pinch hitting. And they strike out. Samuel Smoltz on the mound representing the Toros. Now Miggs Mayfeld steps to the plate. Sharp grounder to third over to first. Plenty of time to retire Mayfeld. 2 down, no one on. It's Traveler. And strike 3 swinging. That will retire the side. Legends Conference goes down in order 1, 2, 3. Offense has been pretty quiet since the grand slam in the third for the Legends. William Nilliam now on the mound for the Legends Conference. Hoping to keep the Champions at a 3-run deficit. They strike out Notworth first. As well as Tater McCheesy. Back-to-back Ks for Nilliam. It's their first All-Star game appearance in the majors as well. William Nilliam of the Sloths. And Dave Babbitt Person lines out to the center fielder, so it's a 1, 2, 3 inning for the first time Majors All-Star William Nilliam. And we head to the stretch here at the Powerhouse. Or sorry, no, we head to the top of the 8th here at the Powerhouse. As it's Randy Colon on the mound representing the Demons for the Champions Conference. Retires Pants on the ground out. McFly Jr. going to single to right. So we have a runner on with one away. Hurry Quake, the catcher. Gonna step to the box. Off for second goes McFly. Not living up to the first name of Speedy. They're going to get thrown out by the catcher McCheesy. And now strikeout of Quake will retire the side. Legends. Only 3 batters to the plate for the Legends Conference. And now we head to the bottom of the 8th. Definitely not Evil Dictator on the mound. Another first-time Majors All-Star there. Gets Goldberg to strike out, bringing up Brian Payne, pinch hitting. Line drive left field. It's going to be caught by Dog Maple. Payne gave that one a ride, but didn't quite have enough on it for it to leave the park. Miles Meredith going to sub in for Michael Munson. They fly out to left for the 3rd out of the inning. We head to the top of the 9th to see if the Legends can add on here. With Duckley Jr., Ruiz Jr., and Ice Dew up. Flop quads. Going to be entering into the ballgame in relief, and they strike out Duckley Jr. Now Ruiz Jr. is going to be walked on 4 straight pitches, and the Legends Conference have another base runner. Patrick Eschenbaugh, the DH. Stolen base by the pinch runner, Henry Magic, who enters into the ball game. It's their first Majors All-Star game as well, and they get a stolen base in their debut All-Star appearance. Eschenbaugh going to ground out, but Magic does advance over to 3rd. But a fly out by Dog Maple will end the inning, so the run does not come home to score. We head to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Champions Conference. They need 3 runs to tie it and send it to extras. 4 runs to walk it off. Yurdong will face Jackson Kidd and ground out quickly, 1 down. Bookie Metz, the second baseman, also grounds out to shortstop. Back-to-back groundouts induced by Jackson Kidd brings us to the final out for the Champions Conference. Gnome Child will fly out to right to end the ball game. Legends Conference win it 4-1. Grand slam by Paulo Zalewski was the big hit of the day. It's the only runs that the Legends Conference needed to stymie the Champions Conference. Congratulations, Legends Conference, for the win. If Zalewski is not player of the game, I will be very surprised. We're going to take a look here. Jazz with the win, Snaps with the loss, and Zalewski is indeed your player of the game. Fantastic swing of the bat from Zalewski. 1 swing, all it took to win the ball game.
Yep, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Dead center, too. All right, we are going to head to July 4th. Should be a quick sim. It should be a quick sim all the way until the 7th is what I'm seeing. So let me just double check the schedule here. 7th is when games start back for the majors and for the minors. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and advance the day, advance the day, and advance the day. And then we'll save one more time, and we'll head on into our first primetime game of the week. That is going to be the Cancun Toros versus the Lunar Base Space Rangers. Champions Conference West versus Champions Conference East. Pedro Martini and Matt Hunter on the mound for their respective squads. Doesn't look like they're